Obviously last night was a game that I thought that we showed great character. I thought we played really, really hard. Um, I thought we played well enough to win the basketball game. Um, the discrepancy from the foul line was staggering. Um, I think it was like 48 to 17. Um, so given that kind of stats and that performance, I thought our guys really showed a lot of character and a lot of toughness. And I thought that we showed good toughness in the Akron game. So we're really getting um, I don't know indoctrinated to really good basketball, and I think our guys have answered the bell in terms of playing really hard and playing together. I really liked our attitudes. We were down last night, and at no point was anybody finger pointing or talking about that they couldn't get it done. They just showed really, really toughness last night, and I think that's something that's an ultra positive for us going forward.
Coach, outside of the 34 points that came into scoring after halftime, just as a team, what do you think kind of clicked with those guys in the second half?
You know, we this was probably the first time since we've been here that we played a game at home to start. So like normally what I do in our preseason, because we play so many road games, I usually start with like 2 scrimmages on the road. Or this year, because we were playing an important game against Akron, we started with a home scrimmage and a home exhibition. That being said, I don't think we were ready to play on the road yet. I thought that first half was kind of a wake-up call to how aggressive, how much noise is in the building. They draw really well. There was a lot of emotion in the building last night, and I think our guys weren't really ready for it. It's the first time that we've shot on baskets other than ours or been in a facility other than ours, and I think it took us. I think it took us a little bit of time to kind of find our way. And then in the second half, I thought we settled down. I thought in the first half we didn't. Our bad offense led to too many easy baskets for them defensively for our end. And in the second half, we did a really good job defensively. Held them to like 38% from the floor and did it in. And I think our defense fed our offense a little bit. And I think that was the way it was at Akron. I think, our 4 or 5 steals in the Akron game in the second half was a difference maker for us. So. I just thought that it was us not, maybe being in the right frame of mind to be able to compete on the road early in that game.
I know it's only been 2 games, Coach, but you've given up 92 points. Any concern there? I mean, I know you're averaging 94. Is that just the way the college game is?
No, I think we've guarded. I thought we guarded well against Akron in the last, 7 or 8 minutes. I thought they had a size mismatch. I think our guys did a pretty good job. I thought we did a great job defensively last night, to be honest with you. When you take 45 or 50 foul shots, I thought that obviously we fouled too much in the eyes of 3 guys, but I thought that we competed and played pretty well.
Do you have an update on Raheem's situation?
We do not. I do not. He is getting checked out right now as we speak. We got back last night around 1:30. It's a concern for me going forward with our tournament. We leave tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. That turnaround is, concerning for me, that there's no hangover. And I don't think there'll be a hangover mentally. I think my concern is physically. Played a lot of minutes last night. Had a really tough physical game against Akron. Had a couple of days to prepare. It was a brutal game last night. Raheem got hurt. Cam went down hard. Devin went down hard. And even Lat at one time got knocked to the floor pretty hard. Got his legs cut out. So there's a concern for me going through. Now we're playing basically 4 games in 5 days, and. Mobile, Alabama is not necessarily an easy place to get to. So we're leaving like really early tomorrow morning, and then you get a practice time, and then you're playing. against three pretty good teams on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you're getting on a flight coming home. So, our energy level, our legs, it's a concern for me for this trip.
Can you maybe speak to Cameron's performance first 2 games of the season? I think everybody knows league-wide that he can score, but he seems to be becoming a very consistent clutch performer when big shots are needed.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty good. So he's just like a really quiet to himself kind of a kid that just answers the bell. I mean, if he came to practice, the next time he says something will be the first time. I mean, he's just a really reserved kid with a lot of confidence and plays really well. So, I mean, I'm proud of his development from, his freshman year to now. I'm proud of all of our guys in terms of where they've come from last year to this year in terms of being better and being tougher mentally.
Other than the physical aspect that you just brought up, talk about other most significant challenges of the weekend ahead.
No time to prepare, 3 games, overload. It's the whole college basketball world has gone to these these exempt tournaments. As a coach, they're a preparation nightmare. You play Friday night, you play Saturday afternoon, and then you play a 12 o'clock game on Sunday. So you're not getting even 24 hours. So, you're sitting around eating some food and going over film with your guys and walking or, taping a floor on a ballroom and, walking through people's sets and, trying to steal some prep time. So it's a lot of basketball in 3 days. I can't say I enjoy it for a minute because I think so much of what we do is preparing our guys and giving them an advantage.
And comfort the other folks are going through the same
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, Jacksonville's very, very good. They had 3 kids hurt last year. 2 of them are their leading scorers right now. South Alabama is big and strong, and they're really different from what we see. They pound the ball in the post, or they start 3 guys about 6'8", 240. And then you got Florida International. That's just athletic as all get out. I mean, they've got a kid that's a transfer from Alabama that's a 1-year guy, and they're ultra athletic. So, we'll try to do what we do and take away maybe their strength and make them play to their weakness.
Coach, why, I know you played in these 3-day tournaments. What's the significance of, you said you don't like it. So why, I guess with all due respect?
No, I said it's a coaching nightmare in terms of being able to prepare your team. I think is the way I said it. But the NCAA, 4 years ago, allowed you to play more games with if you get into the exempt tournaments. So instead of playing either 5 or 6 years ago it was 27, and then it went to 29, and now what it is you play in these exempt tournaments and you get 4 games for the price of 2. So instead of playing, you get 29, but you play 4, and they give you a pass on those other 2 games. So they have cropped up all over the country. I would say everybody, almost everybody in the country is doing some form of it. Some of them where is that you will go to play the majors, like you'll end up going to play at Oregon, like at like North Carolina, and then you'll go to Vegas and play 2 2 mid majors. on neutral floors, but you've got to travel to these other two teams. So there's all kinds of different formats. I mean, there's more than you can imagine, kind of formats on how you play it. But the reason why everybody's doing it, to answer, that was a long way to answer Dana's question. The reason why they're doing it is because they allow you to play more games. So instead of playing, everybody in the country is now playing 31. But if you look at an NCAA rule that says you can only play 29. So what they do is they give you a pass on those 2 extra games. So that's why you're doing it, and then you add the 4th. You have 6 days from the time that the tournament ends to get your 4th in. So everybody might say, well, why is Westminster listed as a part of the South Alabama? Well, because you either have 6 days before the tournament or 6 days after the tournament to get that one more game in, and they allow you to play it. Those exempts, the NCAA allows you to play it at your home school. So that's why, everybody will look at that and say, why do you have that? So like we have an offer for next year, for example, to go to someplace like 3 majors, all on the road, play a game, travel a day, play a game, travel a day. They'll pay us, and then you go to Vegas. You pay your way to go to Vegas to play 1 game against another mid-major. So we've obviously gone now to Florida Gulf Coast. We've went to Kennesaw. We tried to host one for next year. We're working on that. It's not looking promising because everybody pays for room and board, travel. They'll give you some they'll give you $30,000 or whatever. But that's along about. Welcome to my world. Welcome.
Do the pros outweigh the cons in tournaments like this? Because obviously there's not a lot of prep time, but it's more basketball, and I would assume it gets you prepared for your conference. But those wins and losses count. Right.
If you ask my assistants, they'll tell you more games, more games, more games. And that's what basically everybody in the country says. There's nobody. I've not met a head coach that has just absolutely loves it and says, this is fantastic, because like I said, you're playing. South Alabama has a football game, a home game now that they've moved the tournament around again. So now we're playing, like I said, Friday night. Now we're playing Saturday at 2 instead of 4, and then we're playing Sunday at noon. So there's no coach in their right mind that sits there and says, I love this. But it is more games.